चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. So I am very happy to be with all the devotees, and please bless me that I can try to glorify Guru Maharaj. I think this is my second time with Singapore devotees.
Yes, Prabhu.
So I'll try not to repeat what I spoke in the last session.
That will be great.
Devotees will not get bored. And please bless me that I can glorify Guru Maharaj and do some service to you. So I remember first time I came to Singapore and Malaysia. Guru Maharaj made all the arrangements, and Guru Maharaj did my visa also, and he was personally guiding. Oh, Singapore is difficult immigration. You should wear clothes. I mean, formal clothes. And then after flight, Guru Maharaj told that you can, if you will have tilak, you will have difficulty at immigration. So he was personally guiding everything. And what happened when we came out and we went to immigration, somehow Guru Maharaj visa was lost. So then it was a big, anxiety, and our phones were not working because of, we didn't have local SIM. And then Guru Maharaj tried to connect to the Wi-Fi, and then somehow we called Surangi Mataji. Surangi Mataji had the copy of the visa. And in that anxiety, I forgot about my immigration. So generally, when we come to some other country, you need to know where you are going. You need to fill that address and everything. So Guru Maharaj got his visa, and Guru Maharaj was ahead. I was at the just next to Guru Maharaj, and Guru Maharaj passed through the immigration. But since I forgot about asking Guru Maharaj I address and anything, I was not knowing anything what to do. So Guru Maharaj passed through the immigration, and the person asked me at, like I saw that they are writing address and everything, and I thought, my God, I am not having any address, and I don't have phone also, whom I'll call. I was in big anxiety. So I went back again in the line. So then I thought what to do, what to do. So there was one girl in front of me. I asked her, from where did you come? So where are you going to stay? So she gave her address. So I filled same address in my form. And when we went to the counter, and they first that girl went by, and then I went to the counter. They asked, "So you're together?" I said yes. They said, "Are you, are you also staying in the same hotel?" I said yes. So then that person let me go. Then after I came out, Guru Maharaj is waiting there. Guru Maharaj said, "Why did it take so long?" So I said, "Guru Maharaj, sorry, it took an immigration," but I was not having guts to tell Guru Maharaj what exactly happened. So that's how, my first visit to Singapore started. Then I came there, and I was not having any clue how to deal with devotees outside India. Honestly telling, in India, you're like, you have 10 assistants, you always tell, okay, you wash clothes, you do this, you do this, you do that. So although I was there, but all service Singapore and Malaysian devotees were doing. And at one point, they were ironing Guru Maharaj clothes. And that night, Guru Maharaj had to leave. And I just came out. I was trying to set up things for Guru Maharaj. I came out, and Guru Maharaj was telling me indirectly. He said, "So you got a nice help." So I said, "Yes, Guru Maharaj." But I didn't understand what Guru Maharaj is wanting to tell me. Then Guru Maharaj said, "Actually, they are doing your work." Then I understood, oh, actually, I am supposed to do all the service, but Singapore and Malaysian devotees so merciful unto me. although they are so senior to me, and they were doing all these services. And on course of doing that, somehow Guru Maharaj coat got little burned. And then, that devotee was terrified, what will happen? And then they came to Guru Maharaj, they showed Guru Maharaj, said, it's all right, don't worry. So then I understood that Guru Maharaj has such close and such wonderful association, such nice and deep relationship with all Singapore and Malaysian devotees. The way Guru Maharaj used to talk to everyone, the way Guru Maharaj used to ask even advice, I hardly saw it in India. So that was my first experience of Singapore and Malaysian visit. And that vast big feast by Singapore Bengali devotees. And I was astonished to see so many items first time in my life, that somebody can cook so many items for Guru Maharaj. And Guru Maharaj was so happy. So I'm very grateful to all of you that I'm with you today, and you are giving me chance to glorify Guru Maharaj. So I would today like to discuss some things from D-Land, some experiences from D-Land, and then we'll go to Guru Maharaj's final days in Ujjain. So in D-Land, Guru Maharaj was in a very special mood to create something unique for Srila Prabhupada's service. So Guru Maharaj was always concerned how to achieve something big. Like there's so many temples, they are running, but Guru Maharaj wanted to do something special, how to attract Western people to Krishna consciousness movement. So he got this land in Orlando. It was 2017, and we were in Ujjain. Guru Maharaj just asked, okay, you come with me to America. I went with Guru Maharaj, but I had no idea that Guru Maharaj is going into some project. So Guru Maharaj, after reaching there, Guru Maharaj told, so I am going into this project, and maybe you can stay back in America. So I thought, oh, this is a big surprise to me. So I said, okay, if Guru Maharaj wish, I will stay. Then Rasananda Prabhu was there, and Asim Kripa Prabhu and myself. Three of us were there. And first time, Guru Maharaj took us to see the land. And we were very excited because before that, we were staying at Guru Gauranga Prabhu's house, and his house is very opulent. So we thought America is like this, nice gardens, nice palace, everything. But then when we were driving, slowly we were coming out of the city. And then we entered in this road 44, then 42, and we were realizing, oh, we are going to some village kind of place. Then we went into forest, and where we turned for our farmland, I don't know who did that, but somebody put that one board, and there was written haunted. So already I was terrified. Then I saw this board haunted. Then I was thinking, my God, where I am going. Then we came to the entrance of the property, and there was this big tree, and this tree was in winter, is all leaves were shredded off. So this tree was looking like a ghost haunted tree. I was more terrified. Nobody was speaking anything. Only Guru Maharaj was smiling. He was seeing the land. Everybody was in like surprise. Then we went inside. It was bumpy road. There was no road actually. There was like this some kind of mud, and the car was going on. Uh, then Guru Maharaj said, Krishna Kishore, take pictures, and after few years, you show them how we will turn this place into Srila Prabhupada's temple. So then I got some confidence. We went inside, and then we came to area where there were some buildings, and Guru Maharaj was showing, see, this is their church, this is their monk quarters, these are dormitories, this was kitchen. And we were going around all these places. And after that, we came by the lake. And when we came by the lake, Guru Maharaj was standing with Guru Gauranga Prabhu. And we were standing little, aside. And Asim Kripa Prabhu, he found some shack there, some variety of green leafy vegetable. And he became so excited. Oh, in America, I found shark. He became so excited. He started to laugh. He came with to Rasananda Prabhu. He said, "Oh, there's a kind of shark ache." He became so happy. Then he came to us also. Oh, here is shark. So we were laughing on his excitement. On that point, Gurumaj came and Gurumaj asked, "So, what do you think about this project?" So we were already laughing, all three of us. So Gurumaj thought we are laughing on, Gurumaj's wish to develop this project. So Gurumaj became very upset. And when Gurumaj becomes upset, it is very difficult to tell anything at that time. So Gurumaj was angry. He said, "Let's go back." Then we sat in the car. And then Gurumaj said, "I am giving you 3 days. You take decision. Either you commit or you quit." And Gurumaj is saying that, see, for any project, for any pioneering any project, you need to commit. How can you expect that everything will be ready and you will just go and enjoy there? For Srila Prabhupada's service, we need to take this kind of trouble. And then Gurma is saying that how many farm communities are so close to the airport, how many farm communities they were living quarters, how many farm communities had mobile connection, electricity, water, everything. You are getting everything. And then Gurma said a very important thing. He said, "I will not dump you and leave you. Rather, I will stay with you, and we together we will make this project." So as a perfect leader, Guru Maharaj, in first experience of the project, Guru Maharaj gave like that I will be there with you, I will stay with you, I will lead you, and then you serve as per your capability. So then after we reached home, we begged forgiveness. We told Guru Maharaj actually we were laughing on something else, and we fully commit to you whatever you say. That is our life. So Guru Maharaj became very happy. And then things were progressing, and since we were new, we made many mistakes. So after a few months, we made a big mistake. We didn't know that if we cut trees in America, it will be a big issue. Like in India, if you want to cut tree, you can just cut anywhere. Bangladesh also, I'm sure, same. But in America, to cut each tree, you have to take permission from government. And our place had many oak trees, and special oak trees were there on that place, which were an endangered species. So cutting them was a crime in America. So we didn't know that. We cut everything, and we cut over maybe 1,000 trees. And then we came to know that this is a big trouble. Now people from the city council will come and they will either fine us for hundreds and thousands of dollars or they will put us in jail. So when we told Gurmaj sent one devotee to the city council. She asked everything, and then we understood that we are in trouble. Anytime they will come for checking. So then we started to, like put that wood in somewhere so that people, can't see. Because if they would have saw, it would be a criminal offense. So anyway, we were doing that, and Guru Maharaj was there all the time. Like we used to start service at 6 o'clock in the morning, and till night 9 o'clock, with just some breaks for prasad. Gurma used to stand all the time in sun, in rain. Sometimes it used to rain very heavily, and Gurma used to stand there. His clothes used to get wet. Although we used to have umbrella, but water comes from all the sides, and he was all the time in the field. He was guiding us. And then, time to time, Guru Maharaj used to take different Ishtagoshtis. So, in one Ishtagoshti, Guru Maharaj is telling that, see, as a sannyasi, I am not attached. Although I gave so much time, energy, so much funds in this project, if Krishna wants to take away everything, it doesn't matter. I completely surrender to Krishna's desire. So all of us should have this mood very clear that if Krishna wants to take away this farm, we should be ready. So such surrendered, experience, I mean, Guruma shared with us. Even, one time, another time, he was taking Ishta Goshti. Guruma said that, didn't Yudhishthir Maharaj make mistake? He made mistake. That doesn't mean he is not pure devotee of Krishna. So we got encouragement that yes, we made mistake, but our intention was to serve Srila Prabhupada. So that way, Guru Maharaj was always personally exemplifying what a perfect leader is. Sometimes we used to do new things. Guru Maharaj used to see on YouTube how to paint, how to fix tiles, how to fix terrace, and then he used to teach us how to do this construction work. Like one time we got this spray for painting, and that is special kind of spray, orange peel spray. And Guru Maharaj personally, he was spraying the wall and he was showing us how to paint. And there Krishna Mukunda Prabhu, Krishna Prabhu, our devotees, they started to make video. And then Guru Maharaj is praying and he saw they are making video. Guru Maharaj said, you are making video so that you can upload on YouTube and then you can tell people that your Guru Maharaj knows everything. So Guru Maharaj, exactly, actually Guru Maharaj knew everything. Even for our driving license, Guru Maharaj told everybody should have driving license. So to apply for driving license, to get a driving license, he had to pass one exam. There was some course book, and Guru Maharaj personally purchased one course book for himself. And he used to study that course book. And he used to ask us, so what is the meaning of yellow line? What is the meaning of white line? What is the meaning of dotted line? And he used to, although we asked Guru Maharaj, do you know driving? He said, yes, I know driving. So Guru Maharaj, when did you drove last? He said, 30 years back. So although Guru Maharaj need not to drive, he had thousands of disciples all over the world. But just to teach us how, a perfect leader always encourages his subjects. Guru Maharaj was personally doing all these things. And even there used to be some correction. Guru Maharaj used to do some such hearty corrections. Then person would feel encouraged rather than smashed. Like one time, there was one complaint regarding one devotee. He washed something wrong, and another devotee saw him. So that complaint went to Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj said, call him. And then Guru Maharaj called, and then in general, Guru Maharaj didn't point out him, but in general, Guru Maharaj started to speak how we all came to Brahmacharya ashram, we should maintain purity, how it's so difficult to control lusty desires, but still we should try our best to serve Krishna. How if we get higher taste, then we can automatically give up lower taste. That devotee felt that I was imagining that Guru Maharaj would blast me and then completely reject me. But Guru Maharaj didn't do that. Guru Maharaj was explaining with such emotion that it directly touched my heart. And not only that, then after a few days, Guru Maharaj wanted to go to Atlanta to celebrate Janmashtami. I guess it was Janmashtami. And then Guru Maharaj took him with, in his traveling, that devotee. So that he feel encouraged that, he's with Guru Maharaj, not that Guru Maharaj rejected him. So that's how Guru Maharaj was, even in correction, he was so sensitive and so encouraging. Like I had one bad habit that I would go to kitchen in afternoon when there would be nobody, and I used to try some cooking. Like if there is leftover rice, I would just fry it, and there is some dal, I'll fry it. So Guru Maharaj used to notice it. Sometimes Guru Maharaj is passing through our dining room, he will see lemon rice is kept there. Guru Maharaj asks, who ate lemon rice? The devotee say, oh, Guru Maharaj, somebody fried it. So next day Guru Maharaj came, Guru Maharaj saw tamarind rice. So Guru Maharaj asked, who fried it? One devotee, Indrish, told Guru Maharaj Krishna Kishore fried it. Then Guru Maharaj called me. He said, you see, this prasad is already offered to Krishna. So after that you are frying means what? And another thing, if you are cooking, you should cook for everybody. Not that you are cooking for, your 2, 3 friends and you are having party. So I stopped doing that. Then one night, actually after that we were so fearful. Oh, Guru Guru Maharaj will come. So we used to always see if Guru Maharaj is not there, then we used to go to kitchen to cook something extra. And my experience, whenever I light gas and I'll start doing something, Guru Maharaj will come from nowhere. And I was like, all the time, Guru Maharaj used to catch me red-handed in kitchen. So one time we decided at 11 o'clock in night, we said, okay, Guru Maharaj will not come in this time. We'll go, we'll cook something. So I, in one, two, three devotees, we went. We all were, childish, like we went in night and we started to cook something. So when we started to cook, just we put rice in pan and Guru Maharaj came at 11 o'clock. And in Hindi he's saying, Kya ho raha hai? But like, what is happening? And we become like, oh my God. Again Guru Maharaj caught us. Already Guru Maharaj told not to do that. And at 11 o'clock in night, Guru Maharaj came to kitchen and he caught us. So then Guru Maharaj said, okay, today I will cook for you. Then Guru Maharaj took over, he fried rice and he put a cheese in it and so many things. I can tell I never ate that kind of rice in my whole life. This- With our half, cooking, Guru Maharaj completed it. It's not that Guru Maharaj fully cooked it, but just by his touch, just by his adding few things, his love especially, Guru Maharaj made it so special. I never ate that kind of prasad in my life. So that's how Guru Maharaj is always encouraging. Even sometimes he used to get upset, but he used to behave as if he is our friend. Sometimes he used to act like our guru, sometimes he used to act like our father, and most of the times Guru Maharaj acted like our friend. Even young person can connect with Guru Maharaj, old person can connect with Guru Maharaj. This is our all everybody's experience actually. That everybody could connect with Guru Maharaj so intimately. Like one time in D-Land, Guru Maharaj got some swelling in his leg. And when he got the swelling, Guru Maharaj could not walk. And he told me that you be around. If I need something, I will call you. So I was around Guru Maharaj. And at that time, some other senior devotee also came, our senior godbrother. They were also there. They were not from America, they came from outside. So they were also there. At one point, I had to go to pick up Guru Maharaj's clothes from laundry. So I went there, and when I came back, like it took some time. When I came back, Guru Maharaj was very angry. He said, "Where did you go?" And I could not speak anything. I was silent. The Guru Maharaj became very angry. See, in this condition also, you can't be with me. If I need even water, whom I'll call? And then, even more than Guru Maharaj, that devotee became angry on me. That devotee who was with Guru Maharaj. He became angry. How can you leave my Guru Maharaj? So I thought, I mean, he's your Guru Maharaj, but it's my Guru Maharaj also. But anyway, he chastised me in front of Guru Maharaj. So I was feeling little, like bad in sense that I could not serve Guru Maharaj, and in this condition when Guru Maharaj cannot walk, I went somewhere else. Then Guru Maharaj understood it. So Guru Maharaj said, okay, we'll go back to room. Guru Maharaj sitting in the garden that time. Guru Maharaj said, okay, we'll go back to room. So while walking, Guru Maharaj placed his hand on my shoulder and he was walking. So when we were walking, Guru Maharaj said, you see, now we are friends. Because Guru Maharaj putting his hand on my shoulder like this. He said, see, we are back. We are again friends. So as if, like I became upset and Guru Maharaj is, consoling. So that's how Guru Maharaj used to be so encouraging. Even in small, small instances, he used to be so encouraging. Somebody just told Guru Maharaj that Guru Maharaj, your secretary loves ice cream. So Guru Maharaj remembered that. Now we went to an airport, and at that airport it was Madurai. Flight was little late, and Guru Maharaj saw one ice cream, shop. And Guru Maharaj said, I think we should take ice cream. You like ice cream? Somebody told me. And I said, no, no, Guru Maharaj, no, no, I know you like ice cream. So let's take ice cream. What happened that day, since morning I was coughing a lot. And since I had to sit with Guru Maharaj, I carried one cough syrup and practically I drank half of it before entering airport. So that I will not cough in front of Guru. So I was telling, no, no, Guru. I could not tell Guru that I have cough. But Guru is saying, no, you like ice cream, you take. So anyway, Guru personally went, he selected ice cream brought. So then we took ice cream. After we went Madurai, because already I had cough, then I took ice cream, I got fever. Then in morning I was not there. Then Guru Maharaj went to morning walk. No, I was not there. He came back. Then he came in the room. He saw I was lying down. He said, "Do you have fever?" So I was trying to hide. No, no, Guru Maharaj, I am okay. Then Guru Maharaj said, "Show me." Then Guru Maharaj put his hand. Then Guru Maharaj saw that I have fever. Then he said, "Oh, sorry, I made you eat ice cream, therefore you got fever." I said, "No, Guru Maharaj, actually this is already I was sick, but I could not tell you. Therefore, it is my foolishness." So friendly and so intimate dealings Guru Maharaj used to do that we used to feel that he is our eternal well-wisher. Actually, if we say he is our Guru, we may fear sometimes to tell some things to him. But if we feel that he is our eternal well-wisher, we could tell everything to him openly. Like one time, it's just like, personal thing I'm just sharing. One time, Guru Maharaj asked me about some devotees. He asked, "Does that devotee want to marry?" I said, "No, Guru Maharaj, he doesn't want to get married." Then Guru Maharaj asked about another devotee. "Does he want to get married?" So I said, "Yes, Guru Maharaj, it's some problems from his family. Maybe he will marry." Then Guru Maharaj said, "What about you? You want to marry?" Then I said, "Guru Maharaj, with your blessings, I would like to offer my life to you." Something like that I told. And Guru Maharaj said, "Yes, I will tell you one song." And now this song, I mean, it's not a Vaishnav song, but I'm just sharing it because, how Guru Maharaj was so friendly. It's not that Guru Maharaj meant it, it's just in a joke. Guru Maharaj said, "Let a woman in your life and you invite eternal strife. Let them buy their wedding bands for those anxious little hands. I would be equally as willing for a dentist to be drilling than to ever let a woman in my life. I am a gentleman." So when Guru Maharaj was sharing it, he was laughing, his shoulders were shaking, and you know how Guru Maharaj laughs. So he was so happy sharing that poem. I said, "Guru Maharaj, is perfect poem for a brahmachari." So he said, "Yes, but you should never offend anybody." So like that, Guru Maharaj's dealings were so friendly that even a newcomer, even an enemy, I would say, would forget his enmity. And he could just come to Guru Maharaj and he would just tell his feelings, how he want, guidance from Guru Maharaj or help from Guru Maharaj. Just speak to Guru Maharaj. Like we used to go to some construction places like Lowe's and anything to purchase some stuff. And people used to tell, when we see Swami, we feel so peaceful just by seeing Guru Maharaj. We used to feel so peaceful. Even non-devotee, even devotee, child, big, anybody, everybody Guru Maharaj could connect. And even like I would say, one time I saw personally, even animals would understand Guru Maharaj's, love. Like one time, one cow, one Mataji donated to D-Land. That was the first cow in D-Land. And now this cow was saved from slaughterhouse. Now in India, we have habit that cows, roam around everywhere. They see humans. We serve cows. So they are not that fearful. But in America, cows are brought up in slaughterhouses. So they always see humans beating them. They have electric thing in their hand, torturing cows and everything. So in America, cows are fearful of humans. So we bought this cow in our farm from slaughterhouse. We saved the cow, but now nobody could deal with that cow. So Guru Maharaj told that sometimes our different devotees to go feed grass and everything, that how we make relationship. One day somehow the cow escaped, and we made a fence for the cow, and the cow escaped from the fence, and whole farm cow was running. And the risk was, if cow would have went outside the farm, and somebody hit the cow, then city council will charge us for that. It is a big thing. It will come in newspaper everywhere. So we were very fearful. What is, cow is running everywhere. So we're trying to catch the cow. It was 9 o'clock in the night and it was darkness in the farm. All devotees were running, and here, there, nobody is able to catch the cow. And finally, cow went in the lake, and cow, our devotees took boats, and they were chasing the cow. And it was like, it like some Hollywood movie or something. That cow is swimming in the water, and devotees trying to chase. And Guru Maharaj told, no, no, don't panic. If cow will panic, she can drown. Bring her back to the land. So somehow they drove boat in such a way that cow can come to the land back. And then Guru Maharaj came in front of the cow. The cow was wild, it was running. Guru Maharaj came in front of the cow. He did his hands like he said, Hari Bol. We were worried. What will happen? The cow will hit Guru Maharaj or something. We said, Guru Maharaj, don't do that. Guru said, no, 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 no. She is just anxious. Don't panic. She will not harm anybody. And then, slowly, slowly she came down. Guru Maharaj was constantly telling Hari Bol, and all devotees were there. Finally, English could caught the cow and put it back. I was seeing that even, animals can understand Guru Maharaj's love. So how, humans will be left out with Guru Maharaj's personal, care and attention. Like many devotees, express their offerings. They say that Guru Maharaj is actually made of love. His words, his speech, his chastisement, his guidance, everything is so madhuram, so sweet. So that's how it's a wonderful days in Deland. So many wonderful things happened. And since there were less devotees, Guru Maharaj was giving so much time. Like in the recent days, when Guru Maharaj was in Ujjain, one day he just called devotees who served in Deland and they are back in Ujjain. So Guru Maharaj just called three, four of them, and Guru Maharaj was speaking to them. Like Rishabhananda Prabhu was there, Krishna Mukunda Prabhu, Krishna Arpit Prabhu. So they all were at D-Land and they came back after their visa expired. So Guru Maharaj just saw them from his window. Guru Maharaj called them and then Guru Maharaj sat with them. And Guru Maharaj saying, it was so nice time, we all were together and we could serve. And Guru Maharaj is remembering so many things. You climbed on the roof and you're painting and so many things Guru Maharaj was telling. And then Guru Maharaj is saying, I wanted you all to preach, but please, I feel sorry that I could not engage you in preaching. Rather, you had to do so much hard work, so much labor work. So we said to Guru Maharaj, we are the junior most devotees in temple. And we can never imagine to come so close to you. But this Deland chapter gave us so much access to you. Who can imagine this fortune? Then Guru Maharaj started to laugh. He said, that's true. We were together and we had very nice, very, very nice time. So that's how like Guru Maharaj is so personal, so friendly. Even like I had some problems which I cannot share with anybody. I could go to Guru Maharaj and share. Like recently I had some problem and I was very fearful what will happen. Even I was fearful to share with some other my friends. So one day, just sitting with Guru Maharaj was giving dictations, and uh, while he was giving dictation, some point came which matched my problem. So I just, in between, I interrupted. Guru Maharaj, I want to say something. So Guru Maharaj said, what happened? I said, Guru Maharaj, I am facing one problem, and this. I told him in detail. And I was expecting Guru Maharaj will tell me something strongly that no, you should not do that and tell that person that thing and tell this. And because I saw Guru Maharaj, becoming very serious on such issues. So when I told Guru Maharaj my thing, Guru Maharaj told me very nice, remembrance. He said, you see, after Srila Prabhupada left, I used to go to different Prabhupada's God brothers because Guru Maharaj was Bengali and Guru Maharaj Prabhupada's godbrothers were also Bengali, and Prabhupada personally introduced Guru Maharaj to all the senior Vaishnavas. So Guru Maharaj used to go to them and one of them was Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj. So Guru Maharaj was telling, one day I asked this question to him, and Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj told me, see, in olden days, people used to resist from the problem. And while resisting the problem, what used to happen, in some instant, if that temptation will come, they will fall down from devotional service. But now, as Vaishnavas, we should go through the problem so that once we handle it, once we learn to resist the temptation, once we learn to engage that particular object in Krishna's service, even if it will come thousands of times, same situation in our life, we can easily handle. So Gurma said it is nice that you are getting all this experience in young age. And once you overcome them, whole life you can serve Krishna. So I was so inspired that you see, Guru Maharaj was such a personality. I could open my heart so freely, and Guru Maharaj was dealing also with me in a particular way that I feel more and more encouraged in my devotional service. Like I know one more time, like when we were in Tirupati, uh, Guru Maharaj was already booked for a VIP darshan of Balaji. And the organizer asked me, do you also want to go? I said, why I'll not go? I also gave my name. And then when Guru Maharaj was leaving, I also following. Guru Maharaj said, oh, you are also booked? I said, yes, I also booked. So Guru Maharaj said, you also became VIP now. So I said, no, Guru Maharaj, I am just going to, like assist you if you need something. He said, okay. So we were driving to the Tirupati hill. Then again, Guru Maharaj was speaking to Revati Raman Prabhu. Again, he asked, so what is your plan? You want to dedicate your life or you want to do some business? I said, no, Guru Maharaj, with your mercy, I would like to dedicate my life. Then Guru Maharaj said, Revati Raman Prabhu, bless him that he follow his words. So it was such nice dealing. Then he went above on the hill. Then Balaji darshan is so difficult. People stand for hours, sometimes days, to take darshan. And then when they come in front of Balaji, they have to see from far distance. And just in fraction of second, you have to go up. So I was thinking, maybe because I went Balaji before, so I was thinking maybe something like VIP, maybe they will allow for 1 minute or something. But when Guru Maharaj went, all other sannyasis went, they saw so many sannyasis came. They gave special access. We went right inside, the main room of Balaji. Just Balaji was like 6 feet uh, at distance. And then Guru Maharaj took darshan and the Pujari gave Charnamrit and everything. And I was thinking at that time that in my life I could never do all these things, all these holy places I went with Guru Maharaj. Only because of Guru Maharaj I could access this. I was wondering if we follow Guru Maharaj like that, why he will not take us to spiritual world and shelter of Krishna? If he can take us everywhere, the places which are so difficult, even I experienced with my visa and everything, Guru Maharaj solved everything. So why if we follow him, he will not take us to spiritual world? So when we were coming out of temple, Guru Maharaj asked, do you have some money? I said, Guru Maharaj, I have one 500 rupees note. So Guru Maharaj said, give me. So I gave Guru Maharaj 500 rupees note. So Guru Maharaj went to the donation box and he was about to put. And that time only Guru Maharaj came back. He said, no, no. If I'll put this money, you will not have anything to offer. So you offer. So I said, Guru Maharaj, no, if you'll offer, I already is like together. He said, no, 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 you offer. So then I don't know what to do. I was holding that note. Then Guru Maharaj went to some other devotee, some other GVC member. He asked, do you have some money? Then one GVC member gave Guru Maharaj money. Then Guru Maharaj offered that money in hundi and then said, okay, now you also offer. So he was so sensitive, everything. Like it's not that, oh, he's my servant, he's my disciple, he's junior. It's not like that. Guru Maharaj's way of dealing was so personal and so encouraging at every point. And then after we came out of temple, Guru Maharaj said, one day our Mayapur Chandrodaya Mandir will be more famous than Tirupati temple. And we should be prepared to do this kind of facilities. So Guru Maharaj was so conscious about all these things. And in his final days at Ujjain, he was kind of giving extra mercies to all devotees. Like one day Guru Maharaj saw in his drawer there are some iPads kept, there are some pen drives kept, something. Guru Maharaj took them out and Guru Maharaj said, keep them, I'll distribute to devotees. I told Guru Maharaj, these are costly iPads, so we can keep for you if you need for future. He said, no, I'll distribute to devotees. Then after some time, two devotees came for something, and they were like, new devotees in one sense. Guru Maharaj just give out, take. He was so extra merciful, like Mahaprakash Leela, Mahaprabhu is just Mahavadanya. In the same way, Guru Maharaj was doing all this extra mercy to all devotees. He sat with all devotees, did kirtan with them, allowed many devotees to cook for him, gave full day lectures, met every single devotee. Even somebody all over the world, whatever happening, any request, Guru Maharaj would be immediately ready. Like one time, you all know Rameshwar Prabhu. Rameshwar Prabhu was sick. So Guru Maharaj used to attend calls from London till midnight. And that day when Rameshwar Prabhu was very critical, Guru Maharaj went to take rest at midnight, around midnight sometime. And just when Guru Maharaj went to take rest, after half an hour or something, UK devotees called me. They said, Rameshwar Prabhu is sick and maybe is critical. You tell Guru Maharaj. So now, for me, it was a big dilemma because I have to wake up Guru Maharaj, and here is Guru Maharaj's dear disciple is critical. So I was thinking what to do. Finally, I woke up Bhakti Prem Maharaj. I asked him, Maharaj, what to do? Maharaj said, no, Rameshwar, who is very dear disciple, you should wake up Guru Maharaj. So I went inside Guru Maharaj's room and I started to massage his legs. Guru Maharaj didn't wake up. Then I switched on his light. When Guru Maharaj woke up, Guru Maharaj asked me what happened. And he was very, very tired. I could see he was very tired. As soon as I told Guru Maharaj Rameshwar Prabhu is sick, he is critical, Guru Maharaj immediately got up, he wore his glasses, he went in his office room, immediately called one devotee in hospital. And he said, give phone to Rameshwar, I want to speak to him. Now he was in such critical state, Rameshwar Prabhu, he could not speak, he was on machines and all this. But still, Guru Maharaj said, no, I want to talk to him. So one doctor arranged phone call and then Guru Maharaj spoke to him. I could record only last 50 seconds. So I'll just play that part for all of you to see what how Guru Maharaj is encouraging. Guru Maharaj is telling him about Vrindavan. And Guru Maharaj is telling how Krishna is there, you're going back to him, you rendered so many services to him. Just remember how Krishna is so kind. Guru Maharaj is speaking all this, but I could only record last 50 seconds. I'll just play that part. Can you see?
Yes, Prabhuji.
He is with you. He is with you. He loves you. And he is there to take care of you. So just remember Krishna. Just remember how beautiful he is, how merciful he is. And just he is the only shelter now. He is the one who is going to take care of you. Yes, Dina?
Okay, my mom's here, so I'm just going to leave her with this problem, okay?
Yes.
Okay.
So, Guru Maharaj was so personal with all the devotees. He was giving so much time to each and every devotee. And he was very quick in catching things. Like, if sometimes Guru Maharaj used to go to for darshan, I used to think, oh, Guru Maharaj took very quick darshan. But when he came upstairs, when Mataji asked Guru Maharaj that, did you like the dressing? Guru Maharaj said, yeah, the garland you made for Madan Mohan was nice, but they used 5 flowers. And then I was thinking of Vrindavan, in Vrindavan Krishna uses Vajanti Mala, which is 5 flowers. And I was wondering when Guru Maharaj noticed this. So we can't compare Guru Maharaj's attention to all these details. And in the last days when Guru Maharaj used to come for Mangala Aarti, it was very special. Like before, when Guru Maharaj, I am seeing from my childhood, when Guru Maharaj used to come for Mangalarti, he stand next to the leading person. Even in D-Land, he used to stand next to the leading person and he used to attend Mangalarti from there. But in the last days in Ujjain, every day, Guru Maharaj would go close to the deities, just near that railing in front of all the altars. Guru Maharaj was first used to stand near Jagannath Baldev Subhadra. And then after 5-7 minutes, he would come to Krishna Balram. Just close to the altar. And then he would go to Radha Madan Mohan. And then he would go to Gaur Nitai. And then by the time Aarti would finish, and then Guru Maharaj would personally sometimes lead Narsingh Aarti, or sometimes he would go near Narsingh altar and take darshan. So it was very intimate and very special time, during last days. I was making many foolish, what you say, excuses many times. And Guru Maharaj was also treating me in that way, so that, as if like cheating me to do service. Like one time I told Guru Maharaj told me to order one pizza maker. So I tried calling, and that person lifted phone. It was taking long time, and I was not able to understand what he said. So then Guru Maharaj asked me, "Did you order that?" So I said, "Guru Maharaj, actually, I didn't say it was taking long time. I said, Guru Maharaj, I could not understand what he's saying. This American English, their accent is so difficult. I cannot understand." So Guru Maharaj understood I'm making excuse. So Guru Maharaj didn't tell anything at that time. Then I went to take rest. At 2 o'clock in morning, Guru Maharaj came in my room. He woke me up. He said, "I called that pizza person. Now you speak to him in front of me." So then I took phone and then he started telling me things. I'm responding. And then I booked the pizza thing. And then Guru Maharaj said, "How you understood now?" So I said, "Guru Maharaj, by your blessings." Then Guru Maharaj started to laugh. So he was like, he understood. I'm making many excuses, but he was very intelligent how to tell me to do things. Like one time, Guru Maharaj told me, this recent, all these things are in his last visit in Ujjain. Guru Maharaj told me, "You make a nice poster for D-Land and we will print there and we will do." So I was doing many things. I thought I'll give somebody else. He is nice designer, he will send me that. So I sent it to him for working. He was working. And then at that very moment, I went in my room and I lie down. And then Guru Maharaj came in the room. And I woke up. I said, "No, Guru Maharaj, I'm not sleeping. I'm just lying down." Guru said, "Yeah, I know you are lying down. What happened over poster?" So I said, "Guru Maharaj, I gave to such and such person." Guru Maharaj said, "Let's make together. We'll make the poster together." So I said, "Now I have to do." So then Guru Maharaj took me in his office. Guru Maharaj personally selected photo and said, "Put it like this, put it like that." Then I was designing, say, "Guru Maharaj, I'll make and bring." So he said, and I made poster, again brought back. Then again Guru Maharaj gave correction. Again I went back. Again Guru Maharaj gave correction. It took whole day. And then Guru Maharaj said in last, "So finally, now I made you designing expert." So Guru Maharaj knew how to, catch somebody, how to inspire is different thing. But in my case, Guru Maharaj was catching me, sometimes even doing different plans, how to engage me in his service. Like one time, Ramananda Rai Prabhu wrote to Guru Maharaj that, "Guru Maharaj, in coronavirus, it is very important that you take vitamin C. So one drink is very good. You can take lemon, you can take little hot water, put lemon juice, and put little baking soda. So then you take it, it will be very nice for your immunity." So Guru Maharaj said, "Okay, make it." So I made first day, Guru Maharaj liked it very much. Then second day, Guru Maharaj liked very much. Every day it was a ritual. Guru Maharaj used to ring bell and he used to just do like this. And I used to understand what I had to bring. So I used to bring it every day. Then in between, I became little sick. So for 3 days, I was sent, to another room. They told that better you don't stay with Guru Maharaj because you are having sneeze. I was sneezing actually. They said it may affect Guru Maharaj. So I went in some other place. Then it went off in one day. I came back, and then Guru Maharaj said, "Since you left, we didn't have that drink. So where is that drink? So he was always like, his dealings were so personal that even like we want to forget Guru Maharaj, we can't forget. That is Guru Maharaj's special mercy. So when I came back from home, and Guru Maharaj supposed to leave for Mumbai, the Guru Maharaj told that you can come, and Guru Maharaj arranged everything, the e-pass and everything. So then there were two cars which were supposed to go. So in the front car, there was one devotee, Krishna Nam Prabhu, who was driving. Guru Maharaj was there, and Bhakti Prem Maharaj was there. So I thought, since Maharaj is there, I'll sit in the back car. It is long journey to Mumbai. I can sleep, I can eat. And I already told two, three devotees, keep this for journey, keep that for journey. So I was always in this sense gratification. So before Guru Maharaj came, I put all luggage, everything, and I sat in the second car. I thought, now I am safe. So then, when Guru Maharaj was leaving, all devotees, all Ujjain devotees came. They were like, Guru Maharaj was leaving. They were chanting Nrsimha prayer. Guru Maharaj was just about to sit in car. Guru Maharaj asked for me. Where is he? I was sitting in the back car. So I understood what is happening. I came out. The Guru Maharaj said, sit in this car. So then I had to sit in that car. And then we left temple, and Guru Maharaj said, I wanted to give you some dictation, everything. So I told you to sit in this car. I hope you will not mind it. So I was thinking that, see, I am such a rascal. I am running away from Guru Maharaj. But Guru Maharaj is giving me mercy, on his own. Like Nityananda Prabhu used to go and give forcibly. Guru Maharaj is giving me mercy like that. So how much foolish I am. Then finally went to Mumbai, and then Mumbai, it was very special. Only 4, 5 of us were there in that family, in that room, in that house. And Guru Maharaj was very, very free, very, very personal. He was talking to everyone. And then when it came to me, Guru Maharaj said that he is from such and such place, and his father and mother wants him to marry. But I am giving him some another signal. Let's see what he will do. So like that, Guru is very, very personal, and he was um, encouraging all the devotees personally. And on the final day when Guru Maharaj is supposed to leave for America, it was Guru Maharaj's sannyas anniversary. And we made a small cake for Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj cut that cake, and he was very happy. And Guru Maharaj personally gave, like everybody was eating the cake. And after 2 hours, Guru Maharaj is supposed to leave for airport. So we all were having cake, we were eating. When Guru Maharaj came there, Guru Maharaj said that I am going to take some rest. So when Guru Maharaj told that I am going to take some rest, so I thought Guru Maharaj would take some massage. So I left. Guru Maharaj went in his room. I left cake, and I followed him in the room. So then I put the curtains off and everything. Guru Maharaj was preparing to lie down. And Guru Maharaj said, did you finish your prasad? I said, no, Guru Maharaj, I thought I'll take it later. Guru Maharaj said, no, no, no. I was not telling you that I want massage. I was telling you I'm just going to take rest. You peacefully take prasad. I just wanted to inform you. So it never happened like that before. But like Guru Maharaj was telling, I'm going to take rest. You just be relaxed. You take prasad. Then I went out. I took prasad, everything. Guru Maharaj woke up. After that, we packed everything, and we were going to drop Guru Maharaj. But then Guru Maharaj said, no, it's curfew in Mumbai. None of you come. Only one devotee will drive me. And it was very, like emotional scene, because Prema Manjari Mataji told Guru Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, why are you going? And then Guru Maharaj said, no, I need to go, and none of you come down. It's risky. It's coronavirus. Stay safe and take care. He was, telling all that. Use sanitizer. Guru Maharaj is saying mask and everything. And then Guru Maharaj came in lift. There were one devotee there, and Guru Maharaj said, don't come. I'll go. And Guru Maharaj took his bag from my hand, and then lift closed, Guru Maharaj went. So that way, although, like it was unexpected, but now when I'm thinking about all these experiences, everything makes sense. Everything makes sense. Like how Guru Maharaj was dealing at each and every instance. I beg forgiveness, I was sharing so many personal things, but my intention of sharing all these things were like how Guru Maharaj could touch even an insignificant person, even somebody who is running away from service, even somebody who is not that surrendered, not that qualified. Even then, Guru Maharaj was so much encouraging, so much personal that we can't get another person like that. And this morning I was hearing one clip by His Holiness Jaipadaka Swami Guru Maharaj. Jaipadaka Maharaj was saying that Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj was a person with soft heart, and he can't live in front of devotees. So therefore he planned all this thing that he wanted to go back to Prabhupada and Krishna, but he planned in such a way that look, we all could not serve him in the end days. He didn't take service from anybody. He proved that he doesn't need us. We need him, actually. And so dependent on Prabhupada and Krishna, like why I played this Rameshwar Prabhu's video. If Guruma is telling Rameshwar Prabhu, now Krishna is the shelter, remember he is there, he is so merciful, he is so beautiful, you will go back to him. We can imagine how Krishna must have received Guru Maharaj. So we are so fortunate to have a spiritual master like that. And now if in our life we can just follow his footsteps, we can follow his instruction, someday Krishna will again give us his association back. So with that hope, I'll try to serve devotees, and I expect blessings from all of you. Please bless me that I don't offend anybody and I try to serve Guru Maharaj in humble mood. And if I said anything which is irrelevant or it hurt anybody or offended anybody, please forgive me. Hare Krishna. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
Srila Guru Maharaj ki.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. This is wonderful. Heard from you about the Guru Maharaj. So I'm requesting any devotees have any comments or any questions. You can take a few questions if there is. If there is any question, please raise your hand electrically. As Swami Mataji said in the chat message, I think, thank you so much, Krishna Kishore Prabhu, for sharing these wonderful pastimes with us. And so there's no question. I just, there's no hand raiser. So Prabhuji, I have just two things to just highlight. I'm seeing from, because I'm engaged in 2012 onwards. Then 2013, I have personal service with Guru Maharaj and Guru Maharaj Singapore camp. And also several times I went to Ujjain also. So I see Guru Maharaj mercy many devotees, but there is a two devotees very special. One is His Holiness Bhakti Prem Swami Maharaj, and second one is you. And Guru Maharaj, blessed so many ways to you, and I see. Because
I would like to interrupt. You said rightly about Bhakti Prem Maharaj. He is dearmost devotee in Ujjain. Guru Maharaj love him so much. But just like Shivananda Sen has a dog, he doesn't have any qualification. But just being Shivananda Sen was merciful on dogs, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also accepted him. In the same way, His Holiness Bhakti Prem Maharaj only engaged me in Guru Maharaj service. So just being in a shelter, therefore Guru Maharaj gave me some service. Otherwise, personally, I didn't have anything.
Yes, Prabhuji, but when 2019 you are here with a couple of devotees like Vishnu Jain Prabhu, Banyat Prabhu, Nanda Dulal Prabhu, and one more is a senior disciple of Guru Maharaj, from UK. So this is the best we actually have in Guru Maharaj since 2013. We have the whole gang was there, and we enjoyed a lot. Most, especially myself, I enjoyed a lot. Even though I have chastised that time from Guru Maharaj, but I take it this is a Guru Maharaj's blessing. Besides that, I enjoyed a lot. And 2020, when Guru Maharaj came in Singapore, then Chaitanya Prabhu was here. So, when Guru Maharaj leaving Singapore for Australia, so when packing things, Guru Maharaj itself doing something. Then he finds something, Guru Maharaj finds something, but I couldn't help because Guru Maharaj likes to keep something there. So that time Guru Maharaj told me, so that's why I need Kishore. Krishna Kishore is here. Even Chaitanya Prabhu was, difficult to serve Guru Maharaj, but Guru Maharaj always missed you. When you travel Guru Maharaj anywhere in the world, Guru Maharaj really, you be too with Guru Maharaj every time. So I seen Guru Maharaj, love you so much and giving you so much blessing to you. And thank you so much, Prabhuji, for sharing with us. This is wonderful. And hope we have one more session again and again. If you keep on going in a whole night, I can hear from you and we can sit down in front of you, listen from you, Prabhuji. Yes. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. I think Kishore Radhika Mataji also said, Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for wonderful sharing. Can't stop listening to you. Hare Krishna. Yes, even Shurungi Mataji also said, yes, please continue, don't stop.
I think now His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj is giving class
Yes.
for Guru Maharaj disciples. So we should stop and we should join that class.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Jagat Guru Shri Prabhupada ki jai. His Grace Krishna Kishore Prabhu ki jai. Ananda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Mancha Kalpataru Shri Krishna Hare Krishna.